Well, hello. Let me start by saying that there's nothing wrong with the speakers. There's nothing wrong with the microphone. What you just heard and what you're about to hear is the voice, is the accent of an international ministry. One international ministry, different languages. And we're going to hear that more as we continue to grow. And for me, being here today as director of Padre de Corazon, the Hispanic ministry of Abiding Father, especially in this room, right here, in this room, it has a special meaning. Because it was here 5 years ago, April 2015, that everything started. Right here where you're sitting, in this room. And this is where I met Bill for the first time. And after his presentation, I just went to him with my Texas-Rican accent. And I looked at Bill and I said, what are you doing to reach out to the Hispanics? And I followed with the following statement. And I said, if you don't, you will be missing a big opportunity, a great opportunity. In February of 2018, Bill and I went to La Habana, Cuba, where we were teaching for the very first time the curriculum of Abiding Fathers in Spanish. I have no idea what God had in plan at that time. I came back to Cuba later on. In 2019, we were in Puerto Rico, we were in Cuba again, España or Spain, as well as many churches here in the States. In 2020 came in. And there was a lot of opportunities. My schedule was filling up very quickly. Our first opportunity was, our first workshop was in Maicí, Cuba, the very far end of the eastern coast of Cuba. And when I said I'm going to Maicí, even some of the pastors in Cuba told me, Rafy, you are crazy. Not even the devil goes to Maicí. And I said, that's exactly where I'm going. That's where I'm heading. And we went. And we spent a marvelous week in Maicí. Over 150 men listened to our teaching. And they were having conversations at that point of making a big event in Baracoa, Cuba, on the eastern side of Cuba, one of the biggest cities in Cuba. And they were talking about having over 1,000 men for Padre de Corazon. They're still planning to do that. March of this year, COVID-19 came in. And I thought that everything was placed on hold, that everything, the ministry was stopping at that point. And I was completely wrong. God had a different plan. And all of a sudden, the doors opened. And we got invitations from organizations like Lifeway Research and Publications and Lifeway in Español, one of the biggest Baptist publication house in the country. We were invited by Arizona Baptist Church to talk about fatherhood in time of crisis. Honduras, the Texas Baptist Association, they embraced the ministry. Mexico opened the doors as well. And we were in the radio, and I want to thank Carla Perdomo, which is here with us today, for all her support in having our daily broadcast at 6:30 in the morning in Radio Luz, 6:20 a.m. for the Hispanic community here in Dallas. My podcast is expanding. And now we are in Florida. And with us today, we have Pastor Efrain Figueroa, who is our coordinator in Florida, and the doors are opening for him to take the ministry there. Stonebriar Community Church, they opened the door for us in the summit, and now we are doing the same, including their Hispanic ministry. And when I look at 2021, even with the concerns and the doubts about COVID-19, I see a lot of opportunities. And there's organization churches that are coming and asking for us to get engaged with them. Ecuador, Guayaquil, Ecuador. Just as recent as yesterday, I got an email where our contact in Ecuador, Pastor Juan Bonilla, is getting overwhelmed with all the invitations that he's getting from different churches and different pastors that want to know about Padre de Corazon. Cuba, my beloved island of Cuba. I'm going to get a little bit emotional here. The growth in Cuba is going so rapidly that we need help. We need to have more people to help Raul Gonzalez, that you're going to hear him after me, to manage the growth in Cuba. The churches in Cuba are growing. There's no food. There's no money. But I wish we have the faith that the Cuban people are having right now and the Cuban churches is having, that we see that faith, that theology here in our churches in the States. Mexico, Chile, Puerto Rico, Panama, and now the growth in Florida, just to mention some of them. To conclude, I just want to say this is not my vision. It's not Bill's vision. It is God's vision. And since it is His vision, He will provide. We are only following Him and following His vision. And that vision is to preach, to teach, to mentor men everywhere that He wants us to go to be a better dad. It's for Him, for God to turn the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the heart of the children to their fathers. And we want to share the gospel in our Jerusalem, in our Judea, in our Samaria, and to the end of the earth, whatever that means for some of you. Some of you, the end of the earth could be the very south part of Argentina. For some of you, the end of the earth could be California. And boy, they need that. And for some of you, the end of the earth could be Washington, D.C., and they really need that. So whatever that definition is, we are going. They really need our ministry. So today, in this room, in this very, very room where everything started 5 years ago, we are one international ministry. And I'm inviting all of you, excuse me, I should say you all, to join me in this ministry, to join me in this adventure, to see what God is going to do through Abiding Fathers and Padre de Corazon. Please join me to be part of this ministry, an international, relational, generational ministry. Please join me to be an abiding father and to be un padre de corazón. Que Dios les bendiga. God bless every one of you this afternoon. Dios les bendiga, hermanos.